For the stakeholders, we have many, but the priority stakeholders are York University because that's the institute we got our degree from, TTC and other transportation services who get us to school, and they're pivotal. Parents, because they finance our studies, along with OSAP, Lassonde School of Engineering, as that is our faculty, and the professors here who are going to help us become better students, and the students, our peers, who help us become better people. Common project goals and requirements here are to graduate firstly, which includes meeting the academic requirements. Secondly, co-op experience. This is very hands-on and good for the team, although it's not a requirement, but it's a common goal. Secondly, success. With co-op and a graduation, we as Renaissance engineers want to get into the industry, want to get into the world, and make it a better place for societies to come.
Hey there guys, so I'll be discussing about the decision points using the trade value studies. As you can see here, some of the key important decision points we'll come across in our journey in Lassonde would be the number of courses to take, part-time jobs or co-op, or a master's degree, or going for an engineering job after we graduate. We'll move on to the next slide to actually compare which decision will be the best for us.
As you can see, more courses and less courses. We have already put up a chart on that, and
That's truly based on us what we want to do.
so like the favorable thing for our team is to go for more courses because we all want to go for a co-op later on, as part-time doesn't add up to the resume. Going to the last slide, we can see that after graduating, we can either like go for a master's degree or go for a job.
I will be talking about risk analysis of obtaining a degree. Some of the risks are strikes, failing a course, depression, and accumulation of loans and debt. When looking at the likelihood of a strike, it's very unlikely, but the severity can be very critical. And looking at the risk matrix, that's a medium risk to consider. Another risk is failing a course. That is, the likelihood of it is moderate, the severity is critical, and going back to the risk matrix, that's also a medium risk. Now looking at depression, studies shows that 1 in 5 students actually get depressed during their 4 years undergrad. So looking at the likelihood, it is unlikely, but the severity is very catastrophic. Back to the matrix, it is a medium risk. And the last one is accumulation of loans and debt. Very likely, you will accumulate some sort of debt, and the severity is critical. And on the risk matrix, that's a high risk.
There are 4 main budget elements. Courses, transportation, food, and leisure. So there are 2 types of students, domestic and international. International students pay approximately 3 times more than the domestic students. International students stay on campus, so they don't have to spend a lot on transport. However, domestic students come from their respective places, so they have to pay daily for their transportation. And then in terms of food, it's basically around the same, but international students pay a bit more because they don't cook in their respective homes. They stay on campus, so they usually buy from food court. And domestic students they can eat from their own house. And a few budget elements and variations we conclude in our team.